What's going on there, guys? Welcome back to a special episode of the Craftavore Tastes. Today is January 15th, 2019. Why is it a special episode? Well, exactly 1 year ago, January 15th, 2018, I launched the Craftavore Tastes beer reviews channel on YouTube. So it has been 1 full year of the Craftavore Tastes, and I just wanted to take this time to thank every single person who has watched, liked, commented, and subscribed to the Craftavore Tastes. This has been one of the most fun years I've had. I hope everybody enjoyed all of the craft beer related content that I've been kicking out over the course of the last year. And I hope to only kick out even better content here in 2019. So cheers and thank you to the folks that have been watching over the course of the last year. All right, so beer that we're diving in today. One that's a little bit near and dear to my heart. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I was actually down at Carton Brewing in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey over the weekend, and I picked up some beers. And one of the beers that they had available that I'm going to be reviewing for you today is their Regular Coffee. So Regular Coffee is an Imperial Cream Ale coming in at 12% ABV. And so the concept behind Regular Coffee, no one tells that story better than Augie Carton himself, namesake of Carton Brewing Company. And that is that regular coffee is meant to mimic a deli-style coffee here in the New York, New Jersey area, which basically is what is known as a regular coffee. It's a milk and 2 sugars. And the first time I ever had this beer was in Extreme Beer Festival 2014, and it absolutely blew me away. Look forward to a new video coming up regarding an announcement I have regarding this year's Extreme Beer Festival. So a little bit of a teaser. Anyway, so let's go ahead and dive into Regular Coffee. So this year's vintage is actually pretty cool. It has actually been canned on Nitro. So I do not think there's a widget in the can. I actually think that Augie just got some form of kind of Nitro regulator or, I don't know, something to do with Nitro where they basically inject the beer with Nitro before it's canned. So yeah, let's dig in straight into the review, man. Let's go ahead, pop a top on this guy, pour it into a glass, take a look at the appearance, get the aroma, taste it, and of course we're going to rate it. All right, so I got to do this pretty quick. Let's line that up. I'm going to pop a top on this guy and just pour it directly into the bottom of this glass. All right, so open that guy up, straight down, as though you would be pouring kind of a, Guinness widget can or something like that nature. Straight all the way down, boom. Might be the best pour job I've done over the course of the last year on camera. All right, so let's take a look at the appearance of this beer. So Regular Coffee. If you haven't had this beer before or have actually never seen it, I think most people, when they first take a look at it, are a little bit, kind of taken away. They expect kind of something a little bit more darker, right? So Regular Coffee actually kind of comes in this really kind of interesting, almost even medium light amber color kind of going on there, right? So, obviously most coffee beers are going to be stout-like in appearance. Regular Coffee is not, man. It's like that basic, kind of dark orange or light amber kind of color. Nitro on it looks freaking awesome. Huge, like condensed, mini, itty bitty bubbles. Looks absolutely awesome. If I kind of push that beer back and forth, you kind of see those kind of nitro bubbles kind of pushing on. About 2.5 fingers of just kind of this thick, almost kind of meringue-like head. Looks freaking awesome. He did a really, really great job popping these in the cans. Let's dive our nose into it and get an aroma. Oh, there it is. So, smells like a regular coffee, right? It smells like a coffee with a little bit of kind of milk. There's sweetness there. I don't know if Regular Coffee actually has a lactose addition. I would assume it has to be able to kind of mimic, obviously, that kind of cream or that kind of milk kind of obviously taste. But that's what you basically get, man. You get kind of straight up coffee, a little bit of kind of milk or cream sweetness. And then the beer also has kind of an amazing ability to kind of almost kind of mimic sugar in the kind of nose. Like, I mean, literally one of my favorite beers from Carton, just because simply based on the fact how close it freaking comes to tasting literally like a regular coffee, milk and 2 sugars in that old school blue kind of deli cup that we all kind of grew up with here in the New York, New Jersey area. Roasty kind of coffee, but again, not deep espresso kind of coffee. We're kind of talking like that coffee that is made in the coffee machine, like at like your job. Smells freaking great. Let's go ahead and give her a taste. Cheers. Oof. So right when you dive into that, you get hit with a bit of that kind of nice kind of like, you know, Folgers coffee taste, if that's kind of a way to describe it. And then you kind of get hit with that nice, super awesome freaking sweetness coming from, I'm supposing, kind of like that lactose. And then I'm not exactly sure where or how they kind of pull off that sugar addition, but there's like an element of the beer that kind of has and mimics like literally just that kind of white, kind of granulated, like domino kind of sugar. I have no idea how they freaking do it. The Nitro this year, I've never had it on Nitro before, is such an awesome addition. A way that it kind of presents. The mouthfeel is kind of super silky and super kind of smooth. Go back in for another taste. Yeah, awesome. The one thing I will say, and it might just be that it obviously needs a little bit of time to calm down. This is one of those beers that's 12% in ABV and can catch up on you really, really quickly because it does not present itself as overly boozy. But there are elements of the beer where you know it's high ABV. I don't really know how to explain it other than to say that it creeps up on you, but you do get a bit of that kind of alcohol kind of presence and feeling every couple of sips or so, right? So it's like, ooh, geez, I'm not sure this is 12%, but I can kind of tell there's some alcohol lingering. And I'm assuming that's just based on the fact that this thing's pretty darn fresh. I don't know if actually they have a canning date, so it is 12/27. Yeah, I'm assuming basically that beer over a little time, a lot of that boozy and alcohol kind of presence is going to calm down a bit. And this beer is actually a really interesting one to be able to age, because I've aged it in years past. And what ends up happening is a lot of that kind of coffee flavor begins to die out over time. And then I think what happens is that lactose and that kind of sugary kind of note really begins to break down, and the beer kind of turns itself into like a Werther's Original candy or like takes on a little bit more kind of caramelly overtones over time. So super, super interesting beer. Going in for one more taste and then we're going to rate her. Oh, just freaking awesome. What a freaking fun ass freaking beer, man. That's executed for what it's meant to kind of mimic perfectly. So, rating time. Carton's regular coffee, Imperial Cream Ale, coming in at 12% ABV, Nitro variant this year. I am going to give this beer, no joke, a 4.75 caps. This has often been a 5 cap beer for me. Knocking it down 0.5 this year, just simply based due to the kind of a bit more aggressive alcohol-y tones that I'm getting out of this year's vintage than I have in years past. Again, it's super fresh. That'll probably die down. But yeah, oftentimes this has been a 5 cap beer for me, just simply based on the fact that it pushes the boundaries. And in 2014, when I had it for the first time, it really pushed the boundaries for me of what I thought beer could be. And I've honestly never had a beer that's meant to kind of mimic a simplistic kind of coffee style better than Carton's regular coffee does. All right, so 4.75 caps for the Craftavore Tastes. That'll do it for this episode. Hope you join me again for another episode where I drink, I review, I rate, and then I repeat. Cheers.